Okay, thank you everyone for joining the demo class. As we already discussed about couple of things on the introduction part that we usually don't record as per our policy, not to share the students detail in the recording. But here onwards, course content onwards, it is public. Everybody should know it. So we started recording now. Course content, mostly I already told you summary of it, and I will share the course content through Google Drive. This is the course content, guys, and it is containing A to Z all the topics. I will share it through Google Drive. And about me, little bit I will tell you the introduction. So I started my career, guys, in 2002 to 2004. I was working in Java with Oracle. 2004 onwards, so far I'm into Microsoft technologies. So first I worked as a .NET junior developer like you, and then after 6 to 7 years experience I worked as a technical lead. Then I choose the track of architecture. Okay, architectural track is in such a track where throughout your life you have to be in touch with technology always. Even though 20, 30, 25 years experience, you will be in touch with technology. First I worked as associate architect in architectural track, where you need to have solution design, solution architecture, best practices plan, performance analysis, database design, that area. Then I worked as a solution architect. Currently I'm working as a senior solution architect with one of the USA based MNC. So there are 5 teams under me. One is for mobile application development, one is for website development, one is for service oriented architecture, one will be for cross technology integration. So various teams are there under me. And high end development, a solution architect's work is always preparing the architecture, cross validating the technology which is more beneficial for the requirement, resource decision. Then currently you might have seen nowadays everywhere everybody goes for cloud based technology, right? So for which requirement what cloud will be more beneficial, those kind of things will be decided by solution architect. So not only Microsoft Azure cloud, but also Amazon and Google cloud, everything somebody has to be expert. Expert must be in one, but other things he should have the expertise up to certain extent. Then only you can architect the solution. So that is my work, everyday work, guys. Along with development, you can get out of box if you think. Like suppose you are doing the course and connected with me, what are there in the course, definitely you are going to do whatever you have mentioned here. Apart from that, those who are little advanced and feels little long duration in career, just like my career path, you can take advices or best practices knowledge from me, right? Out of box I'm talking about. So some students, because I'm connected with Prajim itself from 2015, I believe, around more than 8 years. So in this duration, many students have come back to us various courses from me here. So some students I saw, they have chosen my track as well. So those who are really interested in architectural track, you can take extra advice, extra guidance, extra knowledge transfer from me. That is out of box things, but whatever we have mentioned in the syllabus, that definitely we will be doing here. My teaching style will be in the real-time project development, guys. So many students ask this question to me, so before you ask me, so why not I will clarify what is the difference between the free version of the demos that you provide in the YouTube versus this course, right? Many students ask this question, so let me clarify that point. Whatever we record and provide free YouTube channel, that is to say that I know. There is difference between I know C# and I can implement C# in real-time project, right? There is difference. So somebody says I know multi-threading when I go through YouTube channel video of Prajim, but somebody cannot say I know implementing multi-threading when I will get the requirement of the parallel programming in the customer's angle. So one customer explained you, hey, I have some 10,000 outlets in the world. All 10,000 outlets, maybe 100,000 request is coming at a time. So request is too high and my application is hanging. Or maybe you have to develop an application which should perform 100,000 concurrent users at the same time, right? So now your mind should strike on the multi-threading. In multi-threading also various processes are there. Somebody can say, hey, use thread start delegate to solve this problem. Somebody will say, hey, use action delegate to solve this problem. So in right time, based on the right requirement, choosing the right delegate to perform the multi-threading, that is also something required. Not that somebody told you, hey, write this code, go for action delegate, then you can solve this problem, then I can start working. That is one more level, right? So when you say, I know multi-threading through Prajim pre-channel, that means you know syntactical idea, how to use multi-threading, but you don't know in which situation, what kind of decision making required. If somebody is guiding you, go for action delegate, then you are master. Hey, I can do it. So that kind of difference you will feel here. So since I'm not a university teacher or so, because we are all working professionals, industry professionals, so it will not be like CBSE curriculum. It will be like technology expertise, fully practical knowledge, right? Conceptual knowledge as well as fully practical knowledge. If somebody explains the requirement, you should understand it, you should architect it, it should modularize it, develop it, and then unit test it, so that performance you can also measure that is it the best practice or something else is there, right? So those kind of guidance you will get in this. So every chapter, I just gave the example of multi-threading, but for every chapter it is like that, right? So delegates, generic collections. You might be saying, hey, I go through your free video, I know generic collection. But if I will explain one requirement, whether you will be coming to a conclusion that whether dictionary will be better there or list will be better there, right? Whether iList interface will be used or IEnumerable will be used. Just for example, chance is there for freshers, it might be going out of brain, it's okay, don't worry, but what exactly I'm trying to say, I think you must be understanding. So so learning the course from free video and learning the course from the regular batch, that is the difference. You have to be master in development, not just learning, fundamental learning. Now coming to our next topic to discuss about. Anybody raise the hand, you want to speak something? Dhanasri, your video is active, you can just mute your video, not required. Anybody raise the hand, you want to ask anything? Rupa? Yeah. Not now. It's not right the right time. But yeah, you call me. I will give you some idea. Okay. So very important question, and yeah, you should explore. You should know the current, and you should prepare for the future as well. So definitely, I will help you on that. But since we have limited time today, so let's focus on the topics. But yeah, feel free to call me. I will discuss. All right. So let's go to these points, which most of students might be having in question mark. Live project. As I said in this syllabus, where I have written MVC core with advanced design pattern. Can you see? My mouse is there, mouse pointer. So from here to here, we take around 2 months time up to MVC core with advanced design pattern. Right after that, during 3rd and 4th month, these are the advanced topics we cover along with Azure fundamentals, and one live project will be parallelly going on. As I said, just learning is not enough. You have to implement that concept in a real-time project development. Somebody will be there, guide for you, who will be working like a technical lead. Somebody means me. So you have to work as people work in software development lifecycle in companies. So we will be going to Azure Cloud. We will prepare our profiles there. Imagine you are 20 students, then all 20 laptop will be connected virtually through that GitHub repository. You have to maintain the source control. And how usually development happens: Scrum call, sprint planning. Every sprint you have to decide, hey, next 1 week what to do. Every day there will be a 5-10 minute stand-up call, what progress has happened. Those culture you have to adapt. Along with that, we will definitely proceed the topics as well. But after proceeding these topics, that will be implemented directly in the live project. So first 2 months learning as well as small assignments. Third and fourth month, no small assignment. It will be learning as well as implementing that concept in live project. Then only you will get the real confidence level. That is my plan. And after that, so you understood about live project, right? What is the requirement of live project? Assignment, first 2 months, as I said, right after each topic. Suppose I completed exception handling, then on that some assignment will be there. You have to do it and have to review the code. So code review parallelly will go on. Mock interview, every technology. Imagine C# core is over. We are about to start MVC core, for example. So that time one mock interview I will take. MVC core is over. With entity framework core, we are about to start design patterns. So one more mock interview. So total 4 mock interview we will be planning in this course. Then tester assessment will be every month. So imagine 4 months, first month end, second month end, third month end, 3 tests. Fourth month end, no test, it will be project presentation, live project presentation, right? Hands-on class, usually I plan as an extra class on Sunday. Apart from our regular 1 hour into 5 days, that will be regular class timing, 1 hour every day into 5 days. Apart from that, separately 2 to 3 hours, sometimes, not always. Maybe when I will feel you people are not practicing at home, you are not performing well, etc., then I will have a mandatory class called hands-on class. So that day I will say that, hey, coming Sunday, 3 hours we will be sitting together. Please cancel all your commitments. Be ready for 3 hours with me. So that day I will give you all the surprise questions what may come from those which we have already covered till then. So those questions surprisingly I will give, and you have to answer it. You have to develop it. That is not like a test. That is for hands-on. That means you will do, I will guide you. Imagine you are having some challenges, errors, etc. Like I have shared my screen to you, you have to share your screen and ask me that, hey, I'm facing this challenge, can you help me? So that will be online hands-on classes. Okay. Job reference, many people might be having that in mind. So guys, 2 cities, one is Hyderabad, one is Bangalore. These 2 cities we have references, we have not yet reached to other cities. Some companies we have the references. What we do is, since our student might have already completed the live project, the team will come here to institute. That means whichever company is interested, they will come to institute. And before 15 days itself, we might have already communicated with students, prepare their resume as per the job, and we might have prepared them little from the mock interview point of view. And they used to take the interview totally on the project, guys. They will not ask anything from outside. They will ask everything from the project. So they will start itself saying that open your laptop and show me your project. So you presented the project, whatever you might have developed. From that project itself, they may ask you the questions. In this screen, you have done this facility. If I want to, make it hack proof, how can you implement the ethical hacking in this so that somebody cannot inject the, cross scripting or anti-forgery, etc. How will you do it? This kind of question they will ask, because they know you developed the project, but they will cross check whether you are ready for next level or not. Like minimum 4 to 5 years experience level, they may expect the questions even though you are a fresher, right? So that is the benefit they are getting with the salary of between 2 to 3 year experience level, they are getting a candidate who has a confidence level of 4 to 5 years experience. That is their benefit. And our students' benefit is, instead of struggling in the outside market, why not? We will develop a project nicely and will answer, meet their requirement and select. So if they will believe that, okay, you have only developed the project, sometimes what they will do, they will give 2 hours to you. They will say, okay, I will ask a small requirement. You yourself analyze the requirement, design it, develop it, unit test it, implement it, deploy it, and show me within 2 hours. That kind of practical things they will expect from you. If you are really done the project, easily you can do, no doubt about it. 2 hours become 3 hours, that is understandable. So they may give you extended time sometimes, but yeah, that will be the way of conducting the interview rather than theoretical questions, right? So we will be preparing you accordingly if you are really serious about grabbing the job reference from us. Akanksha, you are asking something?
Yeah, what companies are tied up that
Basically, public forum we cannot say, but yeah, you can call me, I can tell you. Basically, it's illegal to say in public forum.
your number actually I don't have.
This is the number I have written at the top.
Thank you.
All right. Timing and duration. So currently we are planning for a batch 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. And 5 days per week. And any extra class that will be on Sunday. What else? 4 months total duration. So this is about timing and duration. Days will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that will be the days. So before going to the topic, anybody wants to ask something, guys? So this takes little time. You can see now it is 7:40. So around 50 minutes we spend for these things. This is also equally important because I have to know you, you have to know me, and you have to know a little about the course. Then only you can plan it further. So equally important. That's why we used to keep some time on this. Akanksha, you want to ask something, or it's old hand symbol?
No, I want to ask something.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about the module 2?
Module 2 detail syllabus.
Yeah.
I think should we go ahead with module 1 and you connect with me separately, because I'm little reducing the time, which is not essential, so that at least we can complete around another 40-45 minutes, right? I will help you, don't worry. Yeah, anybody want to get any extended help or any extended information, please call me on this number. I will help you. Yeah. No evening classes. There is no evening in IT industry, Rupa. So we are all IT industry professionals. We cannot commit to our wife also to meet at evening somewhere. Yeah. So there is no evening in IT industry. Forget about seeing the sunset. If you have decided to go for IT industry, you can only see sunrise. Just kidding. Yeah, we have only morning batch, guys. Okay, so yeah, Ranjit. Saturday, Sunday not off. These 5 days will be like this: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah, 5 days per week. Sunday regular class will be there. Imagine 6:30 to 7:30 we had the regular class. Sometimes what happens for hands-on, if you have can you see here, I wrote hands-on class. So those hands-on class will be continued further. For example, 6:30 to 7:30 regular. However, I can plan, hey, coming Sunday it will be 6:30 to 9:30. That means 3 hours continuously will sit for the practice purpose. Okay. Otherwise, yes, regular class will also be there. Yeah, go ahead. Exceptional case, you can use the recording, but I will not suggest regular depending upon recording, because many things will be there which will not be recorded also, right? Like if you see, initially few things we didn't record. Reason, some areas will be there which is out of extent, out of the box, those things will not be recorded. So I will not suggest anybody to miss the class, but worst case, any exception is there, yes, absolutely welcome. You can go through the recording. Every day those recording will be shared through Google Drive. All right, so let's go to a topic, .NET Core Introduction. And as I said, if we missed something or you need some information which we didn't discuss today, please feel free to connect with me on this number. I'll take this number little down so that if anybody is joining little late also, it will be visible to them. All right.
Hello.
Yeah, Dhanasri, you are asking something?
Yes. What will be the fee structure for this course?
I'm very poor in that. So actually front office will help you. Usually I don't feel good to talk with my students about fee structure and all. Front office will help you. I think somebody must have shared you the link, right? Zoom link.
Yeah.
Same number you call back whenever you are free. Okay, so they will guide you from the fee structure, how to pay, etc. Usually my relation with my student is a little different. I don't feel it good to talk about the fee basically. So they will help you. They are for that only. Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. Introduction to .NET Core. First we'll see that, okay, in 2002 .NET came. Up to 2016 we say it as .NET Framework, isn't it? .NET Framework. 2016 onwards, suddenly we say it as .NET Core. Why so? Anybody? Guys, my class is always both way interaction. No need to keep fully silent one interaction. You can participate in discussion also, no problem. So .NET Framework became .NET Core in 2016, right? What do you feel? Why they come up with .NET Core suddenly? What was the wrong with this? So many other additional technology they embedded. Okay, is that the reason? It is just like a version change or anything else?
So due to the OS compatibility?
Major point is OS compatibility, platform independency. Okay, that is the major point. Whatever you said minor point, that is also in place. I will not ignore it. Yes, some additional technology enhancement they got, security enhancement, various things like detaching. You said detaching code with the technology. Yes, that is also there, open source, accepted. But major, when we say major reason, that is OS compatibility. Previously it was only and only for Windows, guys. You must be knowing that Windows is the only operating system which was supporting .NET. But 2010-11, when this instrument era came, smartphone, etc., then the total demand of Windows got changed. How many of your friends are using smartphone? If .NET will say, hey, I can only develop mobile application that will support only and only Windows operating system, then how much demand they will get, right? Not even 1%. So they have understood in 2009-10 that if you are not doing something to this technology, if you will stick with our operating system only, Windows, then perhaps in another 5-7 years, we have to shut down our business. And that's true. Not even 1% of business could have been achieved by Microsoft if they could not have enhanced extended operating system. So they thought what to do. If you are going for multiple operating system, what are additional miracles we have to bring into technology, right? So why .NET Core? Why not .NET Framework? That is what first we are discussing about. So what are additional enhancement, additional miracles they brought in technology, so that it suddenly supported to various operating system like Windows, Android, iOS, Linux, everything, right? So yeah, any point? You are saying something? Code separation, okay. Any other point, guys? Code separation, when you say it is like open source, okay. Anybody else? Testing enhancement they did. Operating system independency point of view, what they did, because major is operating system independent, okay. Minor additional things is security, flexibility, easy maintenance, like you say code separation, routing, all those middleware I accept, but those are all additional things. But major reason, there will be a major reason, right? So major reason for enhancing drastic changes. Otherwise, between 2002 and 2016 also, lot of version has been enhanced. 3.0, 3.5, 4.0, 4.3, 4.7, what's not? Still, why we will say it's a drastic change? Because drastic change is not on the security or flexibility or code separation, it is about the operating system independency. So if I will ask you operating system independency point of view, what miracle they brought so that suddenly it become Linux supportive, Android supportive, iOS supportive, Windows supportive, everything supportive? How? Any miracle? Anyone can name some miracle? Miracle, when I say technology enhancement, what they brought here so that it suddenly started supporting multiple operating system? Any one point? Code separation didn't help for operating system independency. Code separation help for flexibility, cross technology integration. Cross technology, cross operating system, both are different, remember. So operating system independent, who did? What extra miracle they brought? Suddenly it started supporting all operating system. Anybody? Acha, compilation everybody might be knowing, right? In every programming language, there is something called compiler, right? So if I will little give you hint from compiler point of view, what extra things they thought? Because compiler is the main thing to translate our coding into operating system understandable code, right? Previously your C# was only understandable to Microsoft Windows. Now Android is also saying, "Bhai, I am understanding C#." Linux also saying, "I am understanding C#." Everybody is saying, "I am understanding C#." What miracle they brought in the compilation period? Compilation point of view. Machine independent code, we set as native code, okay. How we achieve that? Anybody? Acha, previously compiler name was what? Just in time compiler, very good. So in old compilation, old technology, it was JIT, JIT, right? Now if I will ask you in .NET Core, what is the compiler name? Anybody? In .NET Framework, it was just in time. In .NET Core, what is the name of the compiler? Razor is in not a compiler. It's an interpreter. Anybody? What is the name of a compiler? Coding means C# coding. Razor Engine works on the HTML, CSHTML to compatible with the com and decom. That's not a compiler. Compiler means you wrote some bunch of line in C#, somebody is translating that C#. Because computer is not understanding English, right? Your C# is always in English only. So somebody has to be there in middle. If I take English like C#, translate to processor understandable code. So who is doing that? Like in .NET Framework, it was done by JIT. In .NET Core, who is doing that? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. True, but that's not answering our question. Our question is, suppose you wrote a bunch of code in C#, right? Who is translating? What is the name of the component in .NET Core? No answer? Nobody? I think some people are already working, right? Yeah. Okay. So, have you heard about Roselyn, guys? What is that? That is a compiler. That is a compiler. Okay. So, Roselyn is a compiler, and this JIT, what you are seeing before, right, in .NET Framework, they enhance it up to certain extent. They say it as JIT core. The name of the compiler is JIT core, layman's language, but component name is RyuJIT. Okay. So this is called JIT core compiler. This is called Roselyn. That means in old architecture, only one compiler was available. Now two compiler came in place. That is the major reason why it started supporting operating system independency. And one more is Docker. Anybody has heard about Docker? So two compiler here instead of one compiler, and one additional component they brought, something called Docker. We will learn it. Whole course is there to learn, no problem. Just have an introduction touch. What miracle they brought in order to enhance Windows supportive to multiple operating system supportive. So do you get that interest to know a little more about this Roselyn compiler, what it does, JIT compiler, JIT core compiler, what it does, etc.? Definitely. That is what learning the fundamental things, right? So one student rightly said during our introduction period, sir, I'm able to do the advanced things by seeing the Google search or existing code, etc. But when somebody will ask me fundamental questions, I'm failing. And that's true. So when ABCD will be asked, failing there, when sentence making will ask, passing there, doesn't make any sense. So definitely initial some questions in interview also equally important to clarify, right? Clear it. So if somebody asks what miracle they brought so that it becomes suddenly platform independent, you have to tell these 2 points. Let me practically little show you these 2 points. Okay. Before that, I think Chandra sir has raised hand. He wants to say something, I think, to you. Yeah, you can unmute, sir.
Hi, good evening. So someone is connected. I chatted, but there is no answer.
Can you unmute and speak? You have written the name Xiaomi something. Last one. In the participant list, last name. Okay. Are you already? I will make you co-host. You can communicate.
Yeah, I chatted, but there is no response.
Okay, no problem.
Saranya connected. Saranya, if you have any doubts, you can speak to someone of the person.
Yeah, this is my number, Saranya. I have mentioned here. So couple of introductory discussions we had. Still, if you feel something to discuss, you can call me. Okay, after the class. All right, so let's come to our topic now. I will mute all of you. Yeah, I'm muted, but doesn't mean that you have to be silent always. You can unmute and speak if any, please. Just to avoid the background sounds, I used to mute, guys. Okay, so I will open one architectural diagram. We will go both conceptual understanding as well as practical implementation. I will open Visual Studio and I will tell you which is what, how it is happening internally, right? Before going to this architectural diagram, I will tell you about the old one, how old one was happening. Old means .NET Framework. In .NET framework, suppose you are giving C# as input, or maybe Python as input, or VC++ as input, because it's multiple language support technology, right? Anything you can give, including core, your Visual Java, right? So Python, VC++, Visual Basic, VB.NET, anything you wrote the code as per your expertise. Now it was being taken by JIT compiler, isn't it? Then that JIT compiler was translating to something called intermediate language, MSIL, Microsoft Intermediate Language, right? Of course, few more component was there like CLS, CTS, etc., which was helping to JIT compiler in order to translate it into intermediate language. IL means intermediate language. Okay, that means intermediate language which can be understandable by Windows. That means still Windows is required in your computer. Then only that intermediate language can be communicated with the processor. Hai? This was the process. High level diagram, if I'll say flow, high level flow. So give C# as a coding, JIT compiler will translate to intermediate language, which will be further communicated to processor with the help of Windows. That's how we say it as Windows supportive technology. If Windows is not there, then this intermediate language cannot be understood directly to the processor. Okay. That was the old one. Now they thought somehow you have to break this flow, because Windows dependent intermediate language means tomorrow also everybody will expect Windows only to install in that server. Then only that intermediate language can be understandable to processor. So how to break this? This was using only one compiler in this workflow. They thought about two compiler now. They thought, let's divide this responsibility into two parts. First of all, they brought something called open source library. Let me write it at the first point. Open source library. Just now one student was, telling the point, right? Detached library. Right? Detached library, NuGet library. So open source library doesn't need any license, first of all, which is a good thing for us, for whole industry. Doesn't need any license. So it is globally available, open source library. What is this open source library is? It is like a big dictionary. Imagine you want to learn your language to English. Imagine your language is Telugu, for example. Telugu to English, to learn, what you do? You go to market, basically purchase a dictionary or some word book or translation book, which will help you from Telugu to English, isn't it? That means that dictionary or that translation book was helping you only one-to-one interaction, Telugu to English. That's it. Tomorrow somebody says, no, I'm planning for Hindi to English, man. Then that dictionary was not helping now. It was almost similar to that. When you go for framework class library, FCL, which was in old version, it was only helping each language to Windows supportive intermediate language, like a small dictionary. Now this open source library became like a big dictionary. They said, hey, we have every section in that. You have C# language, Windows operating system, most welcome. You have VB language with the Android operating system, most welcome. You have C# language with Android operating system, most welcome. So it is like a big dictionary which is having section by section almost all the facilities. Now who helped here is Roselyn compiler. Now you said that my language is C#. He said my language is Visual Basic, VB.NET. Other guy said my language is Python. Now this Roselyn compiler said, don't worry. You tell me what language currently you are using and what operating system support you need. Now you said my combination is C# with Android. He said my combination is C# with Linux. No problem. So Roselyn compiler collected those information. We say it as metadata information. Okay, and this metadata information is provided along with the coding to open source library, and that open source library is called CoreFx. CoreFx library. Old library was FCL, framework class library. Now new library which is having lot of sections inside it. You can compare with that. Little layman's understanding I'm giving so that you can relate it. If it FCL is a small dictionary Telugu to English, it might be a big dictionary where it is having lot of sections. C#2 Windows supportive MSIL, C#2 Android supportive MSIL, C#2 Linux supportive MSIL. Similarly for VB2 Android supportive MSIL. Like that, various sections, they have all the libraries. Sections I'm saying just to make it understand, otherwise there is nothing like heading is written ki bhai C# to this, C# to that. But yeah, it's kind of that. You can say open source library. Now this Roselyn compiler collected the metadata information about your requirement, provided it to open source library. Open source library picked up the real component which is for that combination, and then it returned back with the intermediate language. Now if you will compare with old intermediate language with new intermediate language, you can say old intermediate language is always supportive to Windows only. But now new intermediate language will not only supportive to Windows, sometimes based on our requirement Windows also, sometimes based on our requirement Android also, because that metadata information might have taken by Roselyn compiler from the beginning itself. But do you think that is still platform independent? By you supplied C# with Android, still your intermediate language is C# translated to Android understandable intermediate language. So still you need Android, na? That means, will you develop separate Facebook application for Android, separate Facebook application for Linux, separate Facebook application for iOS? Will you do that? No, that is not the best practice. That means it will be like previously it was only dependent upon Windows. Now it is depending upon some specific operating system. Only the number of operating system become increased, but the architecture is still same. That's why they brought one more compilation level. They said, hey, no more Android dependent also, no more Linux dependent also. If you develop the application using Android, doesn't mean that it will deploy it in Android only. If you develop the application using Windows, doesn't mean that it will deploy it in Windows also. No, that is not done. That is not called platform independent. So they brought one more compilation stage. So that JIT core, previously it was CLR, common language runtime, they brought the component called CLR core. Similarly, previously it was JIT, they come up with something called JIT core. So with the help of CLR core and JIT core, they further translated that intermediate language into native code. That means no more intermediate language. After filtering through this yellow color, it will be completely kind of bytecode, directly understandable by processor. You will not tell if I developed using Android. If you have Android, I will support. I developed using Linux. If you have Linux, I will support. Not necessary. You have to get the last level of DLL and exe, that is called native code. Two files, DLL and exe, dynamic link library and executable assembly. So there are two assembly available there. So new overall architecture, if you are giving C#, no more intermediate language level. It says after level 1 and level 2 compilation, I will directly give you to native code. Native code means directly understandable to processor. No need for any specific operating system to be present there who will help to translate again to processor understandable code. So native code means DLL exe. In fact, previously also DLL and exe was there. Here also you are getting DLL and exe in old one. But that DLL exe and this DLL exe different. That DLL exe was requiring your Windows to be there who can help them to make it understandable to processor. But this DLL and exe doesn't need your Windows to make it understandable to processor. Not even Android, not even iOS. You can use any operating system, and at the end, whatever your assembly code is get, this is called assembly code. Okay, native code is also called assembly code. So this assembly, at the end, assembly will be native code, so that will be directly understandable to processor. That's why it is called platform independent. Otherwise they could have said extended operating system, right? Previously only Windows, now Windows as well as Android as well as Linux. No, it's not extended number of operating system, it is independent of operating system. That means your last code what we are getting, it doesn't need any operating system to be present there during execution time, saying that hey, I am there because my development happened in Android, so I will be there as Android, then only my processor will understand. It's not like that. That's why it is called platform independent. So should I show you this flow practically one round quickly? So let me open Visual Studio. I will upload Visual Studio guys in Google Drive. You can download and install, or in Microsoft official site also you can get it, doesn't matter. So go to Visual Studio. Once you download, you install it, then you will get Visual Studio 2022, which is the latest version. Before proceeding to that practical implementation, let me tell you about little versioning. So you have to install Visual Studio 2022, and under this you will get three versions of the framework, that is core version. One will be .NET 6, one will be .NET 7, and one will be .NET 8 also. Okay, I'll tell you difference when you should develop in what. .NET 6 is long-term support as well as stable. Long-term support, we say in industry we say it as LTS. Okay, LTS with stable version. Okay, .NET 7 is STS, short-term support with stable version. .NET 8 is long-term support again. Every event number will be long-term support, basically LTS. Now I will tell you what is difference between long-term support and short-term support. This is unstable as of now. Unstable when we say still progressing. Okay, some patch release they are going to give in March. Post that it will be stable version basically. So when you say LTS versus STS, LTS means you can develop a project in this. You can develop a project in this, no problem. STS means short-term support, means perhaps imagine November 2022, suppose they brought this one. November 2022, suppose they brought this one. Now after November 2022, further 6 months or 1 year, suppose some minor bugs they found in this version, they will fix those minor bugs in a new version, always odd number version, 7, 9, 11, etc. And they will advise not to develop the project in short-term support because that is only for patch release. Okay, 6.x is called 7 basically. 6.x is called 7 basically as per the new rule. Previously that x itself they were giving, right? Have you seen 3.5, 4.3, 4.8? That's why that time that point itself was the short-term support version. But currently they said no, in .NET Core all even numbers will be patch released right now. Up to 3.5 also, 3.1 of .NET Core, they were following up the same pattern. Point something, point something, point something. Now no more point. One version long-term support, one version short-term support. Again one more version long-term support. Again one more version short-term support. That means if today you are joining in any company, they don't have any experienced architect or anybody who knows this process of Microsoft, you can advise them, hey, don't start a project in short-term support. Wait for 2 more months, directly start in .NET 8. Or if you are so urgent, start with the .NET 6. Because .NET 6 to .NET 8 migration, it is just 15-20 minutes. But if you have developed in .NET 7, asking for .NET 8 migration, it may take months for you. Remember, that's why it is not a developed version. So don't develop from the scratch. Okay, bit in senior level this discussions happens, but you should also know about it. Now, currently March 2nd to 3rd week, they are going to release it. Already they have released .NET 8, but it is not yet stable. They have mentioned beta version with stable. If you go to download and then create the new project now, you will see they are stable. They might have already written. But we are gold partner of Microsoft. We know what is happening there. So it is practically unstable, but theoretically stable. So currently, if somebody is developing a project from the scratch in some company, either they should wait for 1.5 months more, or they should start in .NET 6 itself, right? So that when they will make it practically, officially stable, they will remove that beta itself. They will say that, hey, now here onwards, no changes will happen to .NET 8 next 6 months or 1 year. If you will change also, it will come in .NET 9. If some changes also comes, they will come with .NET 9. Then you can trust this .NET 8. Now don't trust. Okay. So that is the funda behind which version to be chosen. So as long as they are not officially declaring it is already stable, we have removed that beta level, .NET 9 will be coming in couple of months. If any patch release available here, we are not going to disturb .NET 8 anymore, then only you should start it. That is the funda behind stable, unstable, long-term support versus short-term support. I think that makes sense. Now let's come to our topic, what we are discussing about. I opened Visual Studio and I click on the create new project, right? There are many options available here. If somebody has already developed the project in cloud, they should not go to D drive, F drive to open it. Obviously, they will go to clone that project from the GitHub repository. For that purpose, these are all options are there. So currently, for some days, let's ignore cloud related topics. It will be too early for you guys, right? Slowly we'll go to that. Either third or fourth you have to use now. Third will be for you open, already you have created from the folder. Fourth is no, I want to create from the beginning. So I click on the fourth one. The moment you click on the option called create a new project, it will show you 3 drop downs here. Okay, 3 drop downs here. First drop down is about the language selection. Language means, .NET is the only technology which supports multiple languages in the same technology. Technology is .NET, but you can use Python, you can use C++, you can use C#, you can use Visual Basic, any language, multi-language platform. So I selected C#. Go to second drop down, multiple operating system. If you go to .NET framework, this second drop down was not available. Why so? Because that was only and only meant for Windows. So why to give operating system drop down? But currently you will see operating system drop down also. Imagine I selected Linux, for example. What does it mean, guys? If you understood this correctly, what will be the output of this? Suppose I selected Linux, then I developed a project. What will be the output of this? Linux intermediate language only, where to make it understandable to processor, you need one more component called Docker. Okay, so specific to operating system you have made it. Specific to operating system you have made it. Now you want a bridge to make it understand to processor. You need a bridge, that is called Docker bridge. But somebody is very intelligent. He said, hey, why I will again use one more Docker bridge in between to make it understand. I am 100% sure it has to be supported to all platform from the beginning itself. So you select all platform, so that when your assembly will come now after development, after building, after publishing, that assembly doesn't need any Docker bridge. It will say most welcome. I will take it to native code, so I will no more depend upon the specific operating system. All platform it can support. That means you can develop in Windows, you can deploy it in Linux, you can develop in Linux, you can deploy it in Android also. Same with Android development, Android deployment also possible. Anything to anything, if you want, then all platform you have to choose here. If by chance you said, no, I have 101% sure it will be only Linux because you don't have license at all for other operating system, why should you go for those? Rather, it will be little faster. I will go for only and only Linux. 2024. Now going forward after 2 years, that company team decided, we did a mistake, man. 2 years back, we selected specific to Linux. Now everywhere we are using Linux. Now these guys has increased the license cost. So still we are bound to use Linux operating system only. That's a mistake we did. But that mistake can be solved also because it's a platform independent technology. So what you have to do? You have to go for a Docker setup. You will say, no doubt when we developed as per Linux compatibility, but now we need it in Android to be deployed. So go and install the Docker. You make a bridge between Linux and the Android, then your Android operating system is running it. But if you decided from the beginning itself that, hey, no problem, go ahead, anything to anything, it should support. Comparing to only Linux and developing the project, comparing to all platform and deploying in Linux, this second option will be little slow because multiple compatible library will be installed unnecessarily, but little slow. It's not like seconds, it will be microsecond. That's why people sometimes go for Linux. I need 101% sure, why should I go for all platform? Little faster assembly, that is the only advantage. But if you go for all platform, then today also it will support. After 10 years also, if you are changing the operating system, there also it will support, right? So decision is yours based on the requirement of the customer. They have given all the facilities. Now you go for the third drop down. What is this drop down, guys? This is about the application variety. What kind of application you want to develop? You want web application, you want mobile application, you want game development, you want library development, you want console application, desktop application, what's not? Do you see any other technology in this world which support all the variety of application? You go to Java, they will say, dear, are you decided to go for distributed applications? If yes, come to us. Console application, desktop application, Windows application, those things we don't provide, man. Now you are going to Xamarin, they will say, have you decided to go for mobile application only? Or you are still confused? Then go for us only for mobile application. So every technology in this world meant for a specific variety of application. But .NET is the only technology which is meant for varieties of applications. That means in this drop down, it is asking what application you need, tell me. Suppose you said I need website or web application, web portal, web services, web API, anything related to web. Then you select web. Then all the templates will come here. Then you select one template. So user-friendly environment with a lot of support. Language multiple, operating system multiple, application variety multiple. That's why these guys are in the front row, right? So you never know in future what to do. If you are switching from one language to another, if you are in .NET, you are in safer side. Not only from company point of view, but from professional point of view also. Suppose today you are master in C#. After 5 years, imagine, it will not happen, but imagine C# got outdated from market. So do you need to leave .NET? No. If XYZ language came and demanded, just upgrade yourself to XYZ language. Other thing is same only. Python, 7 years back, if you see, it was not there. Now it came, right? So anything demanded in market, they have the capability of adopting it because that rich architecture helping it for them. So I selected web application, suppose, right? It's not that today we are starting web application. Just as an example, I selected web application. Then it will give you a lot of components or templates. So suppose I will go for MVC, for example. Again, example, Today we are not starting MVC. Just for example, I am taking my MVC, means model view controller. Click on next. Give a name. Suppose I gave the name as demo underscore 1. Click on next. It will ask you the version here. 6, 7, 8 all will be there. You have to choose it. First I am going for 6. Okay. After some days I will go for 8 also. Something Acha it is saying this name already existing. So I will go for some other name. Let's say demo underscore .NET intro or .NET core intro. Next, create. So I just created a project using .NET 6 version. I'll tell you how to create in .NET 7 also, 8 also, 9 not yet come. Okay, so slowly we'll go. So .NET 6 I created the project. The moment you created the project, it will give you a template. I mean project template, solution template. Little I'm taking extra time, guys. Second class will continue more, but okay, another 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes I will leave you guys. Okay. So if you see, it created a solution, example solution, just like hello world kind of example solution. If you run it without any coding also, it will give you welcome to .NET Core, etc. So some people might be knowing all these things, I'm sure, because some are experienced, but still I assume everybody of you as right from the beginning. So these terminologies, like I said, open source library, etc., some might be knowing. It's not that all are unknown, but yeah, please start from the beginning. I mean, better. Fundamentally, everything you should get clarified. So now I created this and I executed this. When I executed this, it will come across both the steps. That means first compilation, step number 1 and step number 2. After that, execution. Then only native code will be created. So let's see where exactly those native code is getting created, how it is platform independent, and where exactly those metadata informations are sitting, how they are helping to compile as well as execute. Then I will tell you little about the middleware. Okay, if you see in the solution explorer, there is one file automatically created. Can you see? Program.cs, that is called middleware. So we'll see little about middleware as well. Okay, so that means compilation over, execution over. That means all these steps must have been completed. Let's see what is the assembly here, where exactly those assembly files are sitting and which is for what purpose. Where can we see that, guys? Anybody can help me here? I want to see that DLL and exe. Where should I go? Bin folder. So I can right click this project name and go to open folder and file explorer. If you see extremely down, there is an option called open folder in file explorer. So it will take you to the bin for binary, because your assembly is always in binary format. So you have to go to bin folder and then go to debug. Then if it is .NET 8, then .NET 8. If it is .NET 6, .NET 6. So which version you have selected, with that version it will create a folder name. Okay, so if you see here, lot of files will be there. Out of that, focus on the 4th and 5th. 4th from top and 5th from top. 4th one is DLL extension, you can see under type column. 5th one is exe. Okay, remaining file, whatever you see, those are all metadata information file. I'll tell you little about that also. Let's first understand these two files. A quick question for all of you. If you go to any other technology like Java, PHP, XYZ, whatever, they provide only one assembly, isn't it? Go to Java, they will say .class file. Go to PHP, they will say .php file. Go to C++, they will say .obj file. So this .NET is saying two file, man. One is DLL, one is exe. What is the significance on this? What is the reason behind? Anybody? Why two files? Why not one they architectured it? So same thing happening in other technology also, na? So why only one? No, because when .NET framework was there, na, that time also it was DLL and exe. Don't you think? So nothing connected with platform independency. That is one additional privilege. But multiple assembly, it was there in old architecture also, .NET framework also. So if you go back 10 years, that time also DLL and exe. So what is the reason that .NET is the only technology which is offering two assembly, however other technology offers only one assembly? Regardless of core or old version, these guys are providing two assembly. Why so? Is it good thing, bad thing, or what is the reason? Anybody? Yeah. That's why. So if same process will do in Java, will they not do those things? Compilation. No. I'm contrasting actually. I'm not saying this can be used there. I'm saying in other technology, when you compile, they give one file, final compiled file, isn't it? Assembly file. But in .NET, two files. There must be some reason, na? That I'm asking basically. This is the only technology in this world which provides double assembly file. Sometimes you can take alone DLL and deploy. Sometimes you can take alone exe and deploy. Sometimes you can take both also. Okay. So that's fine. That is called additional necessity. But why so? Why two? Why not one they compacted into? No idea? Little tricky. Actually, when you started this project, file, new, project, 3 drop down were there, you do remember? What was the last drop down, guys? Application variety, right? Application variety. So, and I also told that in this world, only one technology called .NET that provides lot of ranges of application. But other technologies, they are good for one, right? Acha, come to that drop down. Mobile application, desktop application, console application, web portal, web services, libraries, games, what's not, right? So do you think all variety of applications are similar in nature? No, right? Some will say, if I go to Sumit's laptop and install it, Amit should not get it. Okay? Like Microsoft Office. When you download Microsoft Office from internet, what you get? exe you get or DLL you get? exe only you get, na? Acha, do you know Microsoft Office is developed in .NET only, right? So when you are taking that MS Office and installing in Amit's laptop, do you get that in Sumit's laptop? No, right? That means in this world, there are two variety of application. Variety, I'm talking, two major category. One is called single user or single computer based applications. One is called distributed applications. Okay. Other technology, they say, ki bhai, we are master in only distributed, or we are master only desktop application, or only single computer based application. But .NET says, bhai, I am master in both. So when you are developing Microsoft Office, will you deploy that DLL in a server and say whole world, ki bhai, access like yahoo.com and you are enjoying? But it is license based. If you are purchasing for 2 computers, you have to give double price. That is the module of the Microsoft Office. Similarly, one customer came, he said that, bhai, I have only one computer in my grocery shop. I want to develop one small desktop application of a billing system. So, will you deploy DLL in his computer? or you will take that exe and execute in that computer so that he will enjoy tomorrow onwards billing system. Exe, that means what you understand from this example, any single computer or single local area network based applications needs exe always, executable. Take that exe to that computer and install it. Install it and host it, both are two different things, and both category .NET supports. Now tomorrow Facebook is coming or Yahoo is coming saying that, hey, develop one website for me, whole world should access it. So will you go and pick the exe and say that, hey, if you double click that file, then only you can open Yahoo? Crores of users across the world, who will go to that server and double click a file to open it? Obviously, will go for DLL, dynamic link library, host it, map with public IP address, whole world is accessing. Since none, coming to the conclusion, why 2.2 assembly? Since .NET offers you both single computer based as well as distributed applications. Some applications will be for distributed applications like mobile application, website, web portal, web services, web APIs, games, which is distributed. Game also both are there. Single computer based game also there, online games also there. So any application you are developing which is for distributed application, you have to depend upon DLL. Any application you are developing which is for single computer or single local area network based application, then you have to go for exe. Acha, coming to hybrid. Sometimes what happens, imagine Indian Railway, they came to you, they said, hey, can you develop one application for us for booking system? But can you please give this facility that our counter in the IRCTC counter, means Indian Railway counter, those staff who are booking the ticket, they should not fall behind this traffic, website traffic. That means if somebody is sitting at home and booking the ticket, they should go for portal called www.irctc.com. But if I'm booking from my counter, I should not type www.irctc because I will be falling behind that traffic. I should go for one local area network based application where our traffic will be different, our connectivity will be different, our dependency will be different. If tomorrow that web server is down, outsiders cannot book the ticket, but it should not impact to our counter. Counter means that outlet. Okay, they are asking that, then what you have to do? You have to go for hybrid. That means you are developing, taking that exe and executing in those computers which is meant for the counter purpose. They need not to open the browser and say www. something, but those who are accessing from home, they will go through that traffic called website traffic. So this is the era currently going on. That means .NET not only thought about platform independency, from the before also, when 2002 it came, that time also they have decided if we will not go for only distributed or only desktop application, we will go for everything, hybrid. In future also, if any XYZ technology is coming, we should be able to adapt it in our technology. That's why two are there. Sometimes you will take only DLL and deploy, sometimes you will take only exe and install, sometimes you will take both and you will help your customer. In high level, this is the understanding, but when we will go little in depth about this, then you can know little more about it. Other files are assembly information files. Any one file if you are opening, you can easily see what are those information. Assembly information means metadata information. There is nothing but versioning information about your current assembly. It will say that, hey, we are using .NET 6, our DLL file name is this, our encryption version is SHA-512. So encryption version means the way they encrypt your DLL. If you go, that DLL has been encrypted actually. Common man cannot understand that. That is called encryption methodology. So they are saying, hey, SHA-512 is the version that we are using algorithm for the encryption methodology. So those are all called metadata information, not required for the deployment purpose, only required for the development purpose. That means during development, if you have developed in 2022 and you are taking into 2017 and opening, that metadata information will say, wait. It is developed in 2022, version is 8.0, and where you are taking 2017 or 13, that doesn't have even .NET 8. so I will not allow to further develop. But once you developed it, published it, that assembly you are picking and deploying in the target server. You need not to take this manifest or metadata informations to deploy it in the target server. So time is little less per meeting today. Already I have taken probably 2 hours from you, so we'll stop it here. But before closing for the day, I will tell you interview questions. What are the interview questions from today's topic, today's discussion? Middleware I could not discuss today. This program.cs basically it will take another 15-20 minutes, so we will discuss in second class. Okay, there is something called middleware, that is also one of the miracle came here, guys. Okay, in .NET Core, these are the major miracles we can say, so called middleware. That I will tell you next class. Interesting topic, that one also middleware, but yeah, we will discuss next class. We will let you know through your mobile number. You have already shared in chat window when will be our next class. Okay, so first interview questions can be formed here is why .NET Core, why .NET Core, and why not .NET Framework, why not .NET Framework. Now easily you can answer. You have to focus mainly on the platform independency. After that, you can give little idea about the flexibility. In fact, when I will teach you middleware now, one more point also it will come and add in that point. That is called security. Okay, middleware is for security purpose, better security purpose. But today we could not. Next class will do. Next question can come is what is two-step compilation? If all other technology offers only one-step compilation, why this guy is offering two-step compilation? What is the benefit of it? Then what is assembly? What is assembly? And what are types of assembly? Easy, you can answer now. You have to say post compilation, after two-step compilation is over, our source code will be translated into native code. That native code itself is called assembly, translated file, which is directly understandable to processor. What are types of assembly? You have to say two, because .NET offers multi-language, multi-operating system as well as multi-application variety. That's why for the sake of advantages and support of various applications, they provide two assembly. One is called executable assembly and one is called distributed assembly. So one is executable assembly, that is called exe. One is called distributed assembly, that is called DLL. All right. One small question I have seen sometimes people ask, I also ask to people in interview, what is manifest? What is manifest or metadata? Metadata information. Then you have to say during development for versioning compatibility, .NET maintains some information files. Based on that, it cross-checks the current operating system, current version of the Visual Studio, current CLR, etc., and then allows development. So during development, your compiler strongly needs information about the metadata, information about the assembly. So those information is called manifest or metadata information, which informs about the versioning and other information about the assembly. So I think that is it. If you have any question, quick question, you can ask me. I will stop the recording now.